We recently stayed at the Quinte's Isle Campark in Prince Edward County, Ontario. This is the long stretch of the entryway, and that building that we're coming up to is the check-in and convenience store, souvenir store. They have all your basic needs, so you don't have to go into town. Town is about 20 kilometers from Picton, so you don't want to have to go there too often if you don't have to. This is the check-in, and as you can see, it is attached to the convenience store souvenir shop. It also has right behind it this beautiful swimming pool and a little fast food restaurant, so you can enjoy the pool, have a snack. And this is all near the front. As you go through the main gate, you'll see that a lot of the trailers here are permanently here. So these are seasonal, and they are open to the owners from April to October. And it is mostly filled with purchased trailers. So you own your own trailer, but you rent the land. This place is huge, and it's really quite far from Lake Ontario once you get inside. We just drove around to give an idea of what it looks like. None of the roads are paved, but the gravel is pretty compressed down, so there isn't a lot of dust in most of the roads. The trailers are, a lot of them, very beautiful and well kept. There's definitely pride of ownership here. You will see that there is a big disconnect from the front of the RV park to the transient park down near the shore of Lake Ontario. The area down there is called Pebble Beach, and they do have some trailers, which I'll show you, but a big portion of it is for transients like we were. So this is the road that takes you down to the waterfront, Pebble Beach, the transient area. There is another subdivision in this section, which we're coming upon, which is called Limestone Acres North and Limestone Acres South. These could very well be the permanent places where it's 12 months a year, but there's very few like that. The majority of them, as I mentioned, are seasonal from April to October. So as we exit this little subdivision, we continue down this road that brings you to the transient. So as you can see, it's pretty far from the main gate. And the speed here is 19 kilometers an hour, and in most cases it's only 9 kilometers an hour. So something that could normally take you on a regular road like a minute or 2 minutes takes you actually about 10 minutes to get all the way down to the waterfront. So as we come around this bend, we have here a restaurant called Dockside. Continuing along in that building with the blue roof, there's a bathhouse, laundromat, showers, the whole thing. We have a basketball court. And as we go around this bend, we get to where the transient RVs are. And straight ahead, as you can see, is the majestic Lake Ontario. It is beautiful and tranquil. It was quiet when we were here. Just going around this corner, as you can see, it's a little bit empty at the moment, but they were expecting a rally this coming weekend, so the place was going to be packed. Because of that, we did opt to leave. We didn't need to be stuck in the middle of a rally. And here we are with our rig. As you can see, we had a beautiful view of Lake Ontario the whole time we were there. In this section, they had 2 swimming pools. This was one of them with a rock climbing thing. Had to take a picture of that tree. They did have a kids' playground, and they had tennis courts and pickleball, which has become the norm, I guess. Here is the laundry room. This is all down near the transient area. So it is very convenient. I would imagine that most permanent people in their trailers have their own laundry, so it makes sense to put the laundry down where the transients are. This is the washroom and the bathhouse. We don't tend to use any of that, as we do have all of this in our rig. And here is Lake Ontario. Very calming. Pebble Beach. It's a polite way of saying it's rocky, but it's beautiful. Can't complain. We had perfect weather, and we would definitely come back. If you go, like I say, 20 kilometers into town, Picton is quaint, it's pretty, it's very, very popular. Sandbanks has Outlet Beach, which is also very close, and you could get a day pass in Sandbanks Provincial Park. Here is a bit of an aerial view of the lower section near the transients and Lake Ontario. So as you can see, there are 2 swimming pools, the basketball court, the restaurant, the bathhouse, the marina, and this is where all the transient parking or renting, staying is. They do plan on building more in this green space, so they will be expanding all of that. All in all, we were very impressed with this park. It is quite nice. It's in a beautiful area. Oh, there we are. And, we got to go to a winery, and we did some wine tasting, and we went to Picton and walked around their old quaint town. And it's really a beautiful area to visit in the summertime. So this section it looks to be a new section. All of these trailers are like the ones up above in the other section, in the older section, but these are all brand new. They look to be a little bit higher end. Whether they are or not, I don't know. It could just be because they are brand new. But once again, pride of ownership. People take very good care of their properties, their land. Again, the trailers are purchased and they are on rented land, and they're seasonal, so they can only be used between April and October. But these ones are right beside where the transients are, so they do get to partake in the amenities that are available to them. They have the restaurant that's within walking distance, and the 2 swimming pools, and all of that. The marina, some of these cottages also have boats, so they do get to use all of that. On the other side of the transients, they are planning to build another subdivision just like this. So obviously these trailers with cottage type availability is quite popular, and I suppose that is how this resort is making their money. Although I have to say that where the transients are, we were there off season, but you cannot get in during the summer. You have to book well in advance to get in. And even this coming weekend with the rally, if we had wanted to stay, we would have had to change sites like 3 times to stay 3 more days. So this place is doing really well. It's in a beautiful part of the world. There's a lot of nice things to see in the areas. And Sandbanks Provincial Park is very, very popular for people coming from the bigger cities looking to get away for even the day to go to the beach. So, yeah, this is gorgeous. As you can see, these trailers are very well kept. And we hope to come back. We don't know if we'll come back in prime time. It'll be busy, and it's very expensive to stay, even though you're bringing your own home with you. So we might do it again in the off season like we did this time, maybe in the fall. So I guess that's about it. This is our tour of Quinte's Isle Campark in Prince Edward County, Ontario.